All right, friends, today we are going to be making succulents. A succulent is a specific type of plant that needs less water than ones that grow in our area. They usually naturally occur in the desert, but a lot of people keep them in their homes. You're gonna start with a pot. I'm going to make mine almost like a little mug that is full of plants. So I started with a line and oops, you can't see very well. Let me move the camera here in just a second. Making the handle like the letter C. And I think I'm gonna put a pattern on my mug, like a checkerboard. So I'm making lines that go one way there, that's better. Now I'm gonna make lines that go the opposite direction. Perfect. Now I'm gonna flip through this worksheet and pick the kind of plant I want to make to start with. I think I wanna make one of these really pretty ones that has the flowers on top. So I'm gonna start with almost like a heart that got cut off, right? Then I'm making lines inside of it. A lot of succulents are cacti and they have prickers on them, almost like as a natural defense to keep predators and animals away from eating them. So I'm gonna add some of those to mine right here. Now I'm going to add those beautiful flowers on top. It's just like a bumpy line. Now I'm going to make some overlapping to give my paper depth. Depth is when something looks deep, like it goes back on the paper. To create depth in this case, I just want to layer behind. So I made another cactus and I let it go behind the original one I made. And I think I'm going to make a third one. I like things in 3s or 5s for some reason. So I'm gonna make the other one, it's the center one on that worksheet. I'm gonna make some lines in it. And put a little flower on top there. Now I'm gonna make a table for this to sit on. Again, I'm gonna go behind. This is called depth. I'm letting it go behind that mug and I'm gonna put some stripes on it. If there's anything you want to be black in your artwork, color it in right now with the paint marker. Now, if y'all have been with me for long, you know there's a rule with this paint marker. And the rule is, listen up, don't squeeze the paint marker. If you do, it makes a great big, ginormous, yucky, spunky mess. It stains clothes. It's no fun. So just press and drag. Never, ever squeeze the paint marker. Now I'm going to make a pattern here. When I'm making a checkerboard, I just skip every other one. And when I get to the next row, I color the diagonal one. If I do the one directly below, it just looks like stripes and not like a checkerboard. Now I'm ready for some oil pastel. I'm going to start with lines. Zigzag, straight, wavy, short, long, different types of lines on your cactuses. So this one is going to be full of zigzags. And switch colors whenever I feel like it. This one I'm going to make short diagonal lines. I'm going to be doing an oil pastel resist, and this is just when I layer watercolor paint over top of pastels and the pastel shows through. It's pretty cool. Oil and water don't mix. That's a scientific fact. So we're taking advantage of this science in our art today. Here I'm just kind of making a variety of short lines on my central cactus. And here I think I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to make a checkerboard inside of a checkerboard. Whoa. I think I'll put some polka dots in the handle. That might be fun. Couple wavy lines. Now I'm ready for watercolors. The first step to using watercolors is to wake up the paint. You need to dip into the water, then into the paint color of your choice. Then you spread it around your paper. You don't need to worry about going over your pastel. It's fine if you do that. Make sure you remember, though, that your paintbrush is like a ballerina. Ballerinas dance on their tippy toes. They never, ever scoot around on their bottoms because nobody wants to go to the booty scooting ballet. So keep those ballerinas up on their tippity toes, spreading it across your paper. When you start to get scratchy looking marks, you know that your paintbrush is thirsty. It needs water. So I simply dip in the water and then in the paint. Now here I'm getting a really light value of green. If I want it to be darker, I swirl around in the paint more. And you can see that that green darkens up a little bit. So more water equals lighter color. Less water equals lighter color. My paintbrush was getting a little bit thirsty there. I can use different values of green. The value of a green is how light or dark that color is. So maybe I'll switch and do you see this, guys? This is supposed to be a really light spring green, but it looks like somebody in another class mixes paint up. So that's another thing. Be sure that you don't mix the colors in the set. Somebody might wind up with a yucky green like I did instead of a pretty light green like they wanted. And that's always disappointing to think you're getting a really pretty color and then kind of have a brownish green. Ugh. Oh well. In the end, I think it still looks nice. Now I'm going to paint the background. The background is not the back of your paper. The background is the area behind the subject. So I'm just taking my paintbrush and I'm going around the cactus. The cactus is the subject of this painting. Keep on going. If I get on the table a little bit, that's just fine, no big deal. And I'm almost finished here. I want to cover up all the white on my paper using really nice painting techniques like you saw here. Great job!